don't know, I said something and I had on a little skirt, and Antoinette told me she was going to get a switch and whip my little legs. Now who talks like that?
Somebody
She
grandma.
I'm gonna pop you on them little legs. Right.
Yeah, that's grandma talk.
I am a grandma.
Oh yeah, you are. But
Right.
I'm in an old, like Mika's grandma talk. My mom would talk like that. And I mean, that just tickled my soul.
Okay.
It was funny. Get it together, girl. I can get it together real quick.
Of course you can.
Oh boy, it's been one of those days though.
Oh, Gigi, your picture sure is pretty.
Thank you.
All of y'all pretty, but Gigi has that smile like the smiling notary.
The smiling notary, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's 7 o'clock. Welcome everyone for joining us. One more Wednesday for Notary Nuggets. I am Tamika. I work with Elizabeth Head in the training classes. I am your Notary 101 trainer. So if some of you have signed up for Saturday's class, you will see my face on Saturday. And as you know, most of you know, we do Wednesday night Notary Nuggets, and we have some illustrious guests that come on. And tonight is none other than Antoinette Connolly, who needs no introduction. Okay, she's been here several times and she just comes back with so much goodness. We love her so much, but she's gonna give us the ins and outs on how to be the preferred notary. She comes from NPR Title. Okay, so take it away, Antoinette.
Good evening, everybody. How are you all? Hope everybody's doing well. This evening, I don't know what we're going to talk about this evening. A couple of things Miss Liz and I talked about. We just want to reiterate.
Okay, everybody mute your mic unless you're speaking, please.
Uh-oh, I think I muted her. Hold on.
Antoinette, I somebody's TV.
Well, now it's saying ask to unmute. Oh, goodness. Antoinette, try and unmute yourself. No.
I think she froze.
Oh, is that what it? No, she's there.
Can you hear us, Antoinette?
No, I didn't mute her because she's not on her twice. So that's not her that I muted.
Okay, I think I'm unmuted now.
Yeah, you're
unmuted.
Oh, you're on here twice. Oh, so you're on the phone and the Gotcha.
Am I?
Okay.
Well, delete me off of one.
Okay. No, there you are. You're good. You're good.
Okay. Well, I don't have a whole bunch to talk about. As you guys can see, I'm still at work.
Making money.
I was waiting on docs from one of my notaries, and her scanner broke.
Oh no.
Antoinette, that's a good thing to start off with. You and I, of course, had the conversation, and of course, I had scanner printer problems last week. Okay, so can you share with the group what needs to happen when you got to get those docs in the next morning and the notary scanner breaks? What do you recommend that notary do?
I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to do, but I'll tell you what I recommend. I recommend you taking them to the title office if you can. Hate to say that, but I do.
Not if you can. Or, no. Not if you can. That's what you must do.
I don't want to be mean. I'm tired. I don't want to be mean tonight. Okay.
No,
Get your butt up early in the morning and bring them to the title office.
Yeah, that's what you have to do. And
we're
then,
funding today. We're supposed to fund this file today. I don't have my papers. It is approximately 7 o'clock and I'm waiting on papers. Not okay with me.
Yeah. But of course, we understand that things happen. You know, like I mentioned, I had all kinds of issues last week, and most of them were user error, my problem, my fault. But yeah, it's important. We have to get those docs back to the title company or the hiring company, one way or the other. Your scanner break, you need a friend, you need a lifeline. You need to
call one of your sister notaries. Call a sister notary. And say, hey, you got a scanner?
Yeah, you need to get somewhere. In fact, I remember one notary, she's in Midlothian, Tanel. She had a problem with her printer and it was 10 o'clock at night. Tanel came to my house and printed her documents. And then bless her heart, I said, so what you doing now? And she said, well, I got to go back home and scan them. Baby, you better scan those documents over there on my scanner. So that's what she did. But I'm in Arlington and she drove from Midlothian. I said, didn't you have somebody closer? But that time of night, FedEx, you know, the print shops, they're all closed. So we sometimes have to get creative to get those documents back. We got some stuff in the chat. Mika, are you watching the chat or do I need to do that?
No, I've already responded.
Oh. Okay. You sure did.
She's so funny.
I should have kept reading. And Dominique said have a backup printer. Girl, I got 3 in my house. And all
right.
They just didn't want to work. And it was mostly my fault.
No, well, okay, probably, but that's okay.
It was definitely her fault.
We were here. Well, ooh, I didn't say it. Okay, so I'm just gonna let you know. In the last, when was the last time I was here, Tamika? July? No.
You were here last month. The beginning.
Was I? The beginning of okay. So some things, just notaries, just some things that I've noticed just recently with notaries. I know everybody's busy. I know it. Title companies are busy. You guys are busy. You're going 90 to nothing trying to get things done. And that's beautiful. I love that you guys are working. You guys can sometimes be a little harsh to the title company. That is a surefire way of me not asking you to do another notary for me. If you are snappy, if you are picky, if you are just being just drama queen-ish, king-ish, it's just not worth it for me to have somebody that just wants to argue. I'm pretty easygoing, except with Miss Liz. But I think sometimes you can come across really, really harsh, and you're asking someone to send you additional business. Not okay. If I'm going to put my best foot forward most of the time, well, all the time when I'm trying to gather new business, I want them to continue using me. I want them to see how great I am and all that good stuff. But, you know, oh my God, it's 150 pages. I know you guys get packages from signing companies that are 200. So why is it such a big deal? You got to be mindful of just the little things. Sometimes it's best not to say anything. Be pissy about it, but be pissy on your own time. So we want to make sure that we're doing that.
Like what your.
I can't hear her.
She was talking to someone else.
Oh, okay. The other thing is dress code. I've noticed that a lot of you are showing up delivering docs in jeans. Nothing wrong with jeans, but sneakers? No. Mm-mm.
What if they're dressy
You represent the
sneakers?
title company.
Huh, Antoinette?
No. No. Never.
The dressy ones?
Never.
Like I got some jazzy tennis shoes.
You're gonna have to show me them.
You know I'm in my office/closet, right?
I know, right. No, I'm just saying, guys, like, for instance, a lot of you don't know. In title, we very rarely wear jeans. Hardly ever. You'll never see us in jeans. Never. You shouldn't represent us in jeans. That's me. That's just me.
Well,
I worked for a title company and I never wore jeans until year number 12. I just feel like, okay, let's say you wear jeans and a blazer and some flats or something. Well, for the ladies, I'm just saying for the ladies, and you wear some flats. That's fine. Don't show up in jogging pants. Please don't.
the
Short, gym short.
Antoinette, jogging pants is a little bit different than jeans. And let me just share with the group. A couple months ago, Antoinette was fussing about that, about some notaries showing up in blue jeans and in not necessarily tennis shoes, but gym shoes. And I said, well, every once in a while, I'll break out in my jeans. And then a couple days later, now this is the kind of relationship I have with Antoinette. I've been working with her for a while, but just to mess with her, I showed up in my blue jeans, but I had on a nice blouse. I had on my high heel shoes and my jacket. And then, but I did it just to mess with her. But every once in a while, I will show up in my jeans. But you got it, they still got nice
she was very tactful though.
Yeah, not holy
Liz,
jeans.
you had on heels and you had on a blazer, nice belt, just, you always look great, but it was just, you pulled it together where it looked professional. It didn't look like you just walked in off the street from the Costco to come and sign, Joe and Susie, you know what I mean, that you met at the Costco. So that's important to me. You may be able to do that at First American or whoever, that's fine. No. For me, I don't think it's very professional. Now we're going to talk about Tamika's sneakers shortly so we can see how jazzy they are. And I would just say, okay. Or thong sandals. I don't know. I just don't think they're professional. Also,
are you talking about sandals or are you talking about flip-flops?
Flip-flops.
Okay, now that's different because in this Texas heat, the only reason I didn't wear sandals at all this past summer was because I was afraid to go get my feet done, and they look pretty ugly. But I might put on some cute little sandals, and I will have my shoulders out sometimes. It gets hot.
Now that is another thing. That's another thing. Okay. Nothing wrong with shoulders out. Nothing wrong with that. If you have a back or arm full of tattoos, cover those up. Please. Please. I have received phone calls because tattoos offended the client. I think they're beautiful. I think tattoos are beautiful. Depending on where you're going in the Dallas Metroplex, it's almost like, she has tattoos. You know what I mean? So I would just suggest covering them up if you can, a sweater or a jacket or, just a cover. Now, if you have a whole sleeve on your arm, wear a long sleeve shirt, please. That's one of those, it's subjective depending on who you're closing. I always recommend if you're going to a title company. I
just feel attacked right now. I can't wear my tennis shoes. I gotta wear long sleeve shirts. Like, I just feel attacked.
Yeah, Antoinette, because she got this big old ugly tattoo on her arm.
Tattooed people are beautiful people.
They are. I have them myself, but you would never know. See? You just don't know. The other thing is, when you come to a title office, and we have this conversation, y'all, every time I'm on here, please clean up. Please. Please. Don't ask to use my pen. Please. No, you can't make any copies. You're going to pay to make copies. No, don't just use art. Don't come in and think that you own the joint, basically. We don't mind helping, but just be mindful that we're still operating a business here, and you're a customer. You're a customer of ours, or your clients are customers if you're using our office. Be on time, please. Be on time. I'm gonna tell you a quick story. I got a phone call from my boss, and I don't like her phone calls. And she said, "Hey, this is one of your notaries. Why were they late?" I said, "What do you mean they were late?" "No, they weren't." She said, "No, they were 45 minutes late." I never heard from my notary. I never heard from anyone, the buyer, borrower. But guess who I heard from the next morning? The lender. The customer was upset. They had something to do. No one called them. They didn't even say they were going to be late. They had games with their kids or whatever it may be. That's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. And we always have to be mindful that it rolls downhill. And by the time it gets to me, I'm direct with you. I'm direct with you. Or Crystal is direct with you. So know that, it's probably one of those things where I'm going to say, we're not going to use her for a while.
Well,
Let's see,
if now, I'm gonna let that alone. Okay, I'm gonna leave it alone.
That's one of those things where I don't like to get those phone calls, y'all. First of all, I don't like talking in the morning. I'm not a morning person at all. I am a morning person. I just don't want to talk, and I don't want to hear all this as soon as I get in. Let me have my coffee, and don't make me curse before 10 o'clock. That's all I ask. But just a phone call. Hey, let me be the icebreaker. Let me call the lender and say, "Hey, my notary's running 45 minutes late. Something happened. Traffic was bad. I'm sorry. We're getting there. We're going to get somebody else there. Would you prefer me to send somebody else?" Give me the opportunity to make it right. When you don't call, when you don't show, when you show up late, you almost put a marker on yourself and me. Like, they can't even get a notary out on time. So I just want y'all to be mindful of stuff like that. We all make mistakes. I'm late to stuff. I mean, I'm late sometimes too, but I just want to make sure if we're using you, that you appreciate us and we appreciate you. A lot of times I know you guys send stuff and you email me and or email Crystal about becoming a preferred notary. And then I start asking questions because I need to know how many closings have you done. A lot of times people don't want, lenders are starting to look at SnapDocs and say, "Oh, well, no, we want somebody that's done, over 100 closings." And I'm like, we need to give people a chance, but, I'm trying to keep my business, but I'm trying to give you all business. And the people that I call, sometimes y'all just don't answer the phone. You don't answer, you don't call back. So I don't know, how we navigate that part, because we want to make sure that we're feeding you guys business. I want to make sure I'm feeding you guys business when I can. But you gotta be willing, and you gotta be able to follow guidelines. So just keep that in mind. Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Antoinette, I have a question on that. This is Patsy Leon. I'm a new Texas notary. I just finished my NSA. I worked for an attorney in Colorado, and I was doing his loan signings, not knowing that there was actually a business behind that.
Right.
And so I do have experience, but now that
somebody needs, I'm sorry, hold
That's
on. Somebody
her.
needs to be on
That's
mute.
her.
I can't hear you.
no, it's
Oh,
my kids.
okay, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Let
I'm
me
like,
step
oh,
out here
I
for a
can't
second.
hear.
No, you're okay.
No, go ahead.
No, so being that I am new, I'm not going to show anything on SnapDocs because I haven't had a signing.
Oh, okay.
How would you
So you're new
recommend
to
me
Texas.
putting my best foot forward? Well, I'm not new to Texas. I am a realtor in the Austin area, but I'm new to the loan signing in Texas. Did you catch
I would
that?
say start with a smaller company. Start with a smaller company. And if you're a real estate agent, go to some of those companies that you do business with.
Yes.
Try them out.
Okay. I was just
I
wondering
promise
because
you.
it wouldn't reflect in SnapDocs, and you had mentioned that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, everybody's getting so savvy with checking everybody's background and, you know, what have you done and what have you done? Why? I'm just as good as everybody else. You just have to give me a chance. But I think you almost have a niche because you are a realtor. Realtors bring business to title companies. Do you want my business? If you want my business, you'll let me notarize some of your closings. You gotta leverage what you got.
I like that.
I do it with y'all all the
I'm
time.
gonna hold you to
I do it with y'all all the time. You know, you have to just leverage that. And I think that's a good way to do it. I mean, it depends on how much business you're doing and who you're closing with. If you have a preferred title company that you like, hey, I got 5 deals in the pipeline. Do you want them, or do you want me to send them to the person that gives me notary jobs? Okay.
I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely. Thank you so much. I was kind of like,
You're welcome.
How do I maneuver around not having anything on SnapDoc? So that's awesome. I appreciate that.
You hold all the cards. Take them a little treat. Take the title company a little treat.
Awesome. Thank you.
Any
so
other
much.
questions? No problem.
Hi, this is Gigi. So for those of us that don't have a realtor background that are trying to get started, what do you recommend?
Reaching out to title companies. I had a young lady come in and she bought, I don't know, is Aisha on here? Seabrook?
I don't see her today.
Oh, okay. Aisha came in and she just bought us some hand sanitizer. I thought it was so sweet. It was just kind of nice. Just she thought of us. And they weren't big hand. I mean, they weren't huge. They were just like the little tiny ones you can just drop in your purse. And I thought that was really nice. I don't want to say her name because she may be on here. There was another young lady that literally I sent her one transaction. She closed one seller for me. She sent me the nicest card with her card in it. A handwritten note goes so far, y'all. You just don't know. It's a lost
Why
art.
you don't want to say her name? Give her
because Amaya Wadley, I adore her. She's so sweet. And we love her. Like we love her. She's always smiling when she goes, hey y'all. You know, she's real just friendly. Not overly friendly, but you can tell she appreciates us. Even though we call her last minute sometimes. And sometimes, you know, we'll send an email and she didn't get the email. She's like, I'm so sorry, I missed that email. And she'll call right back. It's just really sweet to see a handwritten card written to you, just saying thank you for choosing me. So I really love handwritten cards. Not to say you have to do that because it may not work for everybody. For me, I'm a sucker. I'm a lover of the old art, and anytime you can do something just really kind and thoughtful, I think is important for your escrow officer, especially if you're doing business with a specific person all the time. Because we don't get a lot of people that just truly, like I got beat up today. Y'all can probably tell I got bags and everything. I got really beat up today, and Miss Liz literally saved my life today. She saved my life today. because I was literally going to walk out of here. So just those little kind gestures, they make a difference. Try it out and see. Just try it out and see. As a new notary, I think just stopping by, just saying hello. Literally, I don't know where the young lady, I don't know where are you located?
I'm in Dallas, Plano. Hello?
There's some smaller title offices out there. I definitely think you should probably talk to some of them and see if they'll give you an opportunity.
Okay.
Now,
Okay.
we're going to be opening an office in Plano.
I just saw that on your website. Yeah.
Did you?
I did. Yeah.
Send us your information. Yes, ma'am.
I don't want to be petty.
Uh,
You bragging about other folk. You ain't said
What?
nothing about the flowers that I brought y'all last week with a nice hand.
I didn't want to mention that.
I'm
They
just
already
saying.
think I favor. They already think I favor you.
Well, you do.
I do. I really do. No, Miss
I ain't ashamed.
Miss Liz is probably I know y'all, she shows out and she says whatever. Miss Liz is probably one of the most kindest people I know. And anytime I ask her to do something, like today, she was like, well, I gotta run and do this. And I snapped at her, and I didn't even know I snapped at her, and she was like, oh, well, okay, well, I'll be back then. And she literally she saved me. She saved me today.
Right.
And last week, you know, she had some stuff going on with her printers. Guys, have some backup stuff going on. If you have a printer that's old, have a second printer that you can. I mean, drop the papers off the two.
Stuff ain't old. It just, well, one of them I just forgot to reconnect it when I came back from the hotel.
Like I said, it was her fault.
Yeah.
It was the user's fault. But at the end of the day, that's a learning lesson for you guys, because literally Miss Liz has all the equipment that anybody needs, more over than not. And her equipment didn't work that day for her. So she needed us to do some things for her. Did we oblige? Yes, because Miss Liz comes in here and I'm like, hey, can you stay for 20 minutes and close this person? Because I don't want to do it. She's like, well, yeah, I guess. I'm like, sit down and wait for these papers and here, close this. But that's just the relationship I have with her. I want all of y'all to have that kind of relationship with the title company. I want all of you to have that.
Could I just say something about this relationship? Well, the relationship, let me tell you about NPR. NPR, I have watched NPR grow over the last year and a half. NPR has got some of the cleanest files. They're not large files. They're seldom more than 100, 120 pages or so. And the files are very, very clean. But the other thing is they pay really fast. Sometimes if I've got 2 or 3 in their office, because I do a lot of my cash outs in their office. So I go in there to do one of my cash outs. I might end up being there the rest of the day because they've got closings that they need help with. Sometimes before I can leave the office, Crystal is walking into the conference room, dropping a check in my purse. So they pay really, really fast. And if you don't get it that day, within a day or so, you will have your money. So the files are nice and clean, and they pay quick. Antoinette can get a little bit hostile every once in a while. Like I was saying, she wants to whip my little legs, but that's okay. That's okay. But and what you don't want to do,
mouth, y'all.
Antoinette, yeah, I do. But Antoinette, the other thing I'm going to say to you guys is don't sleep on the small title companies. You know, a lot of times, you know the big name title companies, and that's where you want to go. Well, your smaller title companies can be just as lucrative, if not more so than your big title companies because everybody is going after them. Now, Antoinette just mentioned that they're also opening an office in Plano. So they've got the Arlington office, they've got the Dallas office, they've got the Plano office. Well, that tells you that they are growing. They are growing. What I also have been encouraging Antoinette to do is to grow her own notary base. And of course, that starts with, oftentimes when you go to Antoinette, one of the first things she's going to ask you is if you've been through my workshops, because if you've been through my workshops, she knows where your baseline is. So she knows you've got the training to know how to do these loan documents. So just keep that in mind. She will give you a chance. Now, those of you who go through my workshops and you mess up, guess who's going to hear about it? I am. She eat me up. I go in, I have to slither
I
in.
do.
I have to slither
I
in.
do.
But I'd rather hear it because that gives me an opportunity to pull up with that notary to make sure that if
in Pennsylvania has more votes counted than you can.
That gives me an opportunity to pull up with that notary to see where that notary is lacking so that I can provide additional training or mentoring. I mentor those people who've been through my classes. I mentor you through the process, especially your first few loans. I want to be there with you to help you through that.
And let me also mention that just so you guys know, when you go through Miss Liz's class, you have an opportunity to call her if you have questions while you're in a signing. Now, she may be in a signing, but I have listened to her phone ring while she's in a signing. So understand that you're not just paying for a class, you're paying for continued education or assistance with your signings if you're new. After a while, now you can't keep, okay, let's be clear. You can't keep missing the 1003. You can't keep missing that, y'all. You can't. You just can't. So that's just one of those things that, okay, you called her one time for it. Oh, you may call her a second time, but she's going to answer the phone and she's going to give you assistance. That's why it's important to go to a class, because you need to make sure that you have that person that you can call at any time to assist you with your closing. Newbies, this is for newbies, not you professionals out there that do 200, 300, 400 a year. Not y'all fancy ones. I'm talking about the new babies. Those people, you have got to have someone you can lean on when you don't understand. Documents, let me just tell you, we talked about this last meeting. Documents are changing literally monthly. You are going to see new documents monthly. If you don't know what they are, you are going to miss the signature line. I'm telling you. I have one lady who is excellent. I absolutely adore her. She misses that verification, Social Security verification initial every time. I'm like, hey, now this is number 2. The third one, I'm not using you no more. So just know that I have to be that way. But again, she hasn't had Miss Liz class. Not my fault. Not my fault. So just know that you get that additional help after you take her classes. And she's not just going to throw you out there and say, oh, you're ready to be a signing agent. No. You thought I was mean. Miss Liz is mean.
Oh man, you just said she was the nicest person you know. Make your mind up.
Well, I mean,
you know, I kind of gave you the side eye when you said she was the nicest person you know, but you know.
She comes through. Like, she comes through for me. Like, tomorrow, she's on at 11 o'clock. She's like, hey, you don't have to. And I do nice things for her, too, because she doesn't really complain. She doesn't complain. She talks crap, but she doesn't complain. Oh, well, that's fine as long as you talk it outside the door.
Okay, we have some
but-
we have some questions in the chat.
Okay,
So,
let's go.
Let's start with okay, I'm curious on how y'all deal with the title office regulations during COVID. What do you need to become eligible to do signings at First American Title? So that's two different questions. Same person though.
I answered that one down further. And basically with First American, now let's not hurt Antoinette's feelings by asking her about
Oh,
First.
I don't care.
Not just kidding.
Don't care. I'm booked.
The way I started with First American was through SnapDocs. A lot of people don't like SnapDocs. New people, that's the way you can get started. I love SnapDocs. But then once you get a contact person at First American, you court that person at First American. Now, First American is also local. So you may just stop by there, but because of COVID, they may or may not let you in. For instance, Texas Title will not let anybody in there. When you're doing closings at their office, they set up a table out in the lobby so you can do your closings. We have to be mindful of the COVID-19 with the title companies. Many of them are not going to let you in. I think it might have opened up a little bit more now than it was early on. But you have to get creative, figure out a creative way to contact them, because the other thing is, because of COVID, you have a lot of title companies who are not having people come into their offices, which means they are using mobile notaries to go out to do their closings. Get creative, like Antoinette said. Let's say you go to a title company. They're not going to let you in, but you have a nice little card or something that you want to use to introduce yourself. And then you might just have to slide it under the door if they're not going to let you in. So get creative in thinking about ways that you can introduce yourself to them. Send them a nice little email or something like that. I'm not going to say that you have to spend a whole lot of money, but you start looking at their websites. And then when you send them a letter, you mention something about, I don't know, what's their mission statement? You relate to their mission statement. And then when they see something, they get a card or something and you've said something to them, and it mentions their website, something they said on their website. Hey, that's a what do you call it?
Creative
trigger.
marketing.
That's a trigger. Yeah. But it's a marketing trigger. So they pay attention to that. So that's one thing that you can do. But just be mindful. If you go there, they may or may not let you in. They may or may not let you in.
And a lot of them have stop on the door, call and make an appointment first. Don't be offended by that. We're getting into flu season and people are getting a little bit more cautious about, being around in the public areas and things like that. So just make sure that you are just reaching out to the smaller ones first. I know everybody wants the big fish. I can't eat all that fish. I can't eat all that. So just know that you still have title companies that are popping up. And I give props to a lot of the small companies who are just mom and pop shops like us, but who have grown during COVID and that are really, really making a mark. And our business has doubled. Our business has doubled. So we're doing just as much as the big companies with less, you know what I mean? We're doing the same amount, but we have less people. So the averages are the same. So we still need your services. Guys, you got to protect yourself. You got to you got to still wear your mask and your gloves or whatever you do. Hey, keep the pens, don't take your pens back, all that good stuff. Take your hand sanitizer. just do all those things. And if you go to a title company and let's say they don't let you in, leave them a little pin with your name on it, or a card. Just say, you know, I just wanted to stop by and say hello. I hope you all are well. If you need my service, I got a card the other day. If you ever need my services, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Now, granted, I reached out and she didn't answer the phone, but you know,
Oh,
hey,
dang it.
nonetheless, it was a
I
nice
have a
card.
question on
It was
that.
a nice card.
Do you
I tried.
do you think that they will roll into remote online notaries because of like flu season, and if we do get hit with the second wave of COVID?
Well, let me tell you about remote online. How many people are remote? If you can put it in the chat, how many people are remote online notaries? Just put it in the chat if you are. Like, raise your hand, and then we'll do a count. And I'll answer that for you in just a sec.
Well, they're
So how many
doing,
people we got so far? Okay, let me tell you something about remote online notaries. Unless the lender will accept it, we don't do it. So it's not even title, it's the lender. If the lender cannot accept remote online docs, we can't use them. We don't use them. Sometimes they will allow it depending on, let's say it's a seller and the seller's out of the country. I had one good story. This is a good story. Had a seller out of the country. He now lives in Mexico. He's a US citizen, but he's there working. So he's living there and he's selling his properties in the States. So we email him, God bless. We email him and we're like, hey, you're gonna have to go to the consulate. Well, I can't get to the consulate. Okay, all this stuff. I said, well, you know what? Let's do a remote online notary. I had to get it approved, even though he was a seller. I had to get it approved through the lender because he was out of the country that we could do it. You all, I probably done in a year 2 remote online notaries because the lenders just, they haven't gotten there yet, y'all. Specific ones have. I think there's one out of Round Rock. There's one out of Round Rock that does it. And I think some Supremes will allow you to, but there's not that many that will let you do remote online signing. Now, what lenders have gone to is e-sign documents instead. So a portion of the package is e-signed through their portal, not live sign. So you can digitally sign some of their documents. So I don't know who's getting their remote online certificate. I just haven't seen a lot of lenders that are doing them. I have not, and I don't want to lie to anyone. Like I said, 2 in a year, and one, they were both sellers. They were both sellers only because they were out of the country. So it may not be worth it.
Do you know
Any
which
other questions?
lender it was in Round Rock?
They use Notarize. They're the primary company that uses Notarize. Is it Round Rock? It might be Round Rock Mortgage. It might be Round Rock Mortgage. I'll have to look it up and then I'll put it in the chat. But I know they are predominantly remote online. I do know that. And they prefer it that way. But they're the first ones that started the platform. So of course they are. Everything's going digital. Also, just so you guys know, if you can get in with Quickens, become one of Quickens' preferred notaries. I just heard about their program. If you're on their program, they will actually send documents directly to you instead of going through the title. So let's say they have a pipeline of business, purchase business or refi. Well, let's just say refi business. I'll say refi. So they have a pipeline. When the buyer purchased the property and now it's time for them to refi, what they can do is they can put you in their portal where you can become their preferred notary in their portal and you just get the documents direct and you go sign them. They don't even use the title company's notary. So that's an option. I think UWM also has that same type of platform. So UWM and Quicken have their own preferred notaries as well. If you can get on with them, that might be. Quicken's doing a lot of stuff, y'all, and it's a refi. Refis are getting ready to pick up, so be prepared for that. What's the next question?
When you said Quicken, I haven't heard of that. Is it Quicken Title Company?
No, Quicken Loans. It's
Quicken
actually a
Loans.
lending company. It's a lending company, and so is UWM. UWM is a lending company as well. But they do all of their work via a platform, which is why they want to use people who have the digital side and the live side, notary side.
Okay, and you said
it's called United. I'm sorry, UWM, United Wholesale Mortgage. UWM is out of Detroit, and so is Quicken. Quicken is as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Next question. I'm looking this up for y'all. Sorry.
So I have a question while you're doing that. When you're looking up, like if you want to send a letter to the title company, who are you looking for? A specific person? Because I went on the websites and, you know, I was kind of looking like, what title do we need to look for? Who we need to direct our emails to?
Never the manager. Never the manager. They just throw that stuff away. If you can get a receptionist, if you can get in good with a receptionist, typically you can kind of, you can feel them out. Like, what are they like? If you're nice to a receptionist and just, you know, state your business, so and go, they can probably get you in the bag. I'm just telling you. Maybe it's Round Point, y'all. It might be Round Point, not Round Rock. Round Point. Sorry.
Round Point is the name of the company or the name of the city?
Round Point is the name of the lender, Round Point Mortgage. They are a digital platform lender. So they use remote online notaries. Anybody heard of Notarize, the company Notarize? You know, they hire full-time notaries to do that at their office. Round Point started with them. They were the first big company to use a digital platform for closing. Fully digital platform. Like, you sign everything online. Oh, another thing I want to mention. If your notary stamp, we want to do this. If your notary stamp, my phone, somebody call my phone. If your notary stamps are smudged, this is a good one. Please fix them, get a new one, please, y'all. Because when they're smudged like that, we can't record your document. We can't record our original document. So smudges, or the corners don't show up, or you have anybody got the baby notary stamp?
Yes, ma'am.
I have the baby one. I have the baby one and I have the big one. Somebody told me one day, don't ever use that small one, because when you scan back over or you upload to, when we upload originals to our recording portal, it minimizes everything anyway. So it makes the notary stamp even smaller.
Did not know that.
So we want to make sure, yeah. If you use a specific color stamp, I have a lady that uses blue, but her blue is kind of faded. I thought it looked great on my paper until I scanned it through the recording portal for the county. The county said, we can't read this. Please make her re-stamp this. Well, she only has a blue stamp. So I have to go in and darken her stamp with my copies just to upload. So that's one of those things where that becomes an issue for title, colored stamps, because remember, we are recording your originals that you're signing, that you're notarizing. I always say, when all else fails, go with black. It's gonna show up.
Black.
And that way, even if I darkened it, it would make a cleaner copy. What else have we been talking about recently, Miss Liz?
Well, I'm glad you mentioned the baby stamp, because I only use the baby stamp. Typically, up until today, I only use the baby stamp for those the smaller spots where we have to stamp. I can't say that I've not used it on a recordable document. It's usually just the title, something with the title documents, not the deed of trust or anything like that.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, but and some of those documents, it's like the space where you have to stamp is so small that you have to use a smaller stamp or attach a loose leaf. I try to stay away from adding additional documents such as loose leaves. So I use it for that, except today I was doing a file and I noticed that my big stamp was getting a little light. So I kept using my baby stamp today instead of, but we have to keep in mind, when you see that getting a little light, you want to go ahead and, refill your ink, switch that thing out, switch your ink pad out. And I typically have a couple extra ink pads. So I need to go ahead and get my ink pad switched out. But I'm glad you mentioned that about those recordable.
Yeah, I've had a couple of them kicked back, because by the time we're already printing on 8.5 by 11, and it probably should have been printed on legal. It probably should have been printed on legal. So I'm already shrinking what's already there. And then I have to scan it, which shrinks it a little bit more. And it just becomes, it's not legible anymore. So they do kick those back. And then we get a rejection. Just so you guys know, we get rejected from the county. We only have so many days to record those originals that you all notarize before we get fined by the state. So a lot of times we'll have to call the notary back out and say, hey, can you come back out and sign this document or notarize this document one more time if it's faded? Can you please or do? I mean, if it's bad, I'll ask someone to do a jurat. I will, because we need it.
You just said you'll ask somebody to do a jurat. You mean you'll ask someone to do a loose leaf?
Yes, a loose leaf.
Now somebody wants to see my baby stamp. So y'all go ahead. I'm gonna go get my stamp.
I have mine. I have mine in my purse. I keep mine in my purse.
You got your baby in your stamp?
Okay, hold on, y'all. I do have it though.
Yeah, because mine's in the car.
And I only keep mine just in case I'm out and, somebody's, oh, well, I need to get something notarized. I had a lady do that today. So in comparison, what is mine? Okay, so I have the big Trudette. Okay. And this is the baby one. So it's a lot, the stamp pad is a lot smaller.
And that's a good idea what you just did. You put the small one up against the big one. Because silly me, I would have just been putting a little one up there.
Yeah. So you gotta remember, if you're using the little one, it could get distorted, just depending on what's going on, and compared to the big one. You know what I mean? And I've had a couple of, but look at the size of that. Sorry, y'all. Y'all need to see it.
Well, I have a question about the baby stamp, because my original stamp that I got from NA is bigger, is more legible, And then I got this one from somewhere else, and it's not, it's the same size, but the writing is smaller on this one. Is that what you mean by baby?
Really?
Yeah, when I ordered
this.
it's
Okay,
real,
I'm gonna show you guys.
it's real small. So I've been scared to
Look
kind
how
of use it.
look how small that is in comparison to. Look how small that is in compared to the other one.
We
And
can't
imagine that
see
being
it.
scanned twice.
This
Okay,
is,
everybody
see
get
it?
your stamp out. Everybody get your stamp.
this is the little
Oh, right?
one.
I know.
This,
I would use the big one. I would just use the big one only.
hey,
But what she's showing you, maybe, Ashley, are both of those the same size, but one is just so much lighter, or is that a big one and a small one?
this is, yeah, this is, now that I'm looking, it is a big one, but the gag, the one that you said I should use, it's the smaller one.
Gotcha.
It's a bigger stamp, but the writing on there is smaller, but this is the smaller stamp, but it's bigger. It has the bigger stamp on
I
here.
would use the bigger one. I would use the bigger
Yeah.
one just to be safe, because if those originals can't be recorded, they're gonna call you back out to
Now,
restamp.
Ashley, the one that you got where the writing is not dark enough, yeah, I don't imagine you've used it so many times that the ink just needs to be, so it's just,
Yeah,
is it more?
I've never used this one because it's so small. When I got it, I
Gotcha.
was scared to use it on a notary, so I just been using this big one. But I have two of these because when I ordered them, I was so small. Then I ordered another one. They sent me the same one. So
Well, just know not to order from that company again.
yeah, I know. And
Who
yeah,
did you order it from? Do you remember?
I think it was. I actually don't know, but I know I got this one from the NNA.
I love my NNA stamp. I've had it for years, and I keep ordering the same one from them. I know they're a little bit more pricey, but I know what I'm getting. I know what I'm getting when I order from them. So
I was actually
I
listening
just
to
do it.
another notary that said they didn't like the NNA, so and they gave, I forgot what company it was, but they said they didn't like them because they were overpriced. They say, and I ordered them from this company, and this is what I got.
Well,
Yeah.
and you
Well,
know that you're gonna hear that. I mean, everybody's got their own preferences, and then you also have to think about you go with what you know is going to work for you. For instance, what
right.
Antoinette just said about she loves her NNA, she orders that same stamp all the time. I've now ordered my stamps from a few different people. Fortunately, I've not had a problem with any of them, but the baby stamp, I've only seen it at NNA.
Right.
But say you get what you pay for. So if the NNA stamp is clearer than the one that you got for maybe $2-3 less, but you can't use it, there you have it.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
some people, let me just say this if you don't mind. Some people may be saying, some people on here may be saying, why on earth are we spending this much time on stamps and showing it on the screen and so forth and so on? You best believe the way you stamp those documents is very, very important. Antoinette has just given you some examples of what happens when the stamp is not clear. Therefore, these are things that we need to talk about when we're talking, especially with new notaries getting started. Just know you stamp that document and it's not, it's crooked, so your edges are not on that paper. That
It
causes
cannot be recorded.
that's a reject at the county. So just know. Let's see.
We have some questions in the chat. First one, is there a certain amount of E&O insurance that you require, Antoinette?
I would like you to have at least 25. will I reject it if you have 10? No, but I like 25. I personally like 25. Again, I won't reject you if you only have 10. As you become as you get more business, I do recommend that you get more E&O insurance just to protect yourself. Who said something about the stamp?
100,000.
Nobody. I was like, nobody said that, but you know.
Nobody said what?
Why are we talking about stamp?
Like, no. It's just that sometimes it's like people think that we are being, it's like we have some experienced notaries on here. And, I'm just projecting, I guess. Insurance. If you're going to work with just internet, and she's saying 10 to 25, but you really need 100,000. If you intend to work with hiring services, you're going to need at least 100,000. And you'll also keep in mind some of the title companies, everybody wants to get that title work, your direct title business. Some title companies will require you to have far more, like 500,000. And that's what's required from the lenders. They want you to have, some of them will want you to have 500,000. So just so you guys know, and I'm gonna say this because it happened to me last week at the end of the month, and it forced me not to be able to fund a file. So there was a file that was closing. The lender wasn't a Texas lender, so maybe they were California or something like that. Nonetheless, they were doing loans in Texas. We used a signing service. The signing service obviously sent their person for that area. Not a big deal for me. Hey, we're good. The lender required that the signing service have $1 million in E&O insurance. Yep. Okay, that's easy. They got it. I know they got it. They required the notary have $1 million too. Rejected the file. We had to reclose it. So just be aware. As you start to get more business, it might be wise to get more insurance. If you want to take on, like Ms. Liz said, some of the other companies will require $100,000 or $500,000, depending on what type of loans they do. And it's their rule. It's their rule. It's their world. Hey, you may not get picked for that one if you don't have it. But we do have a lot of lenders doing that now. A lot of them. I try not to. If we're going that route, I'll use a service. I'll use a signing service and let them give me their E&O insurance because I know it protects obviously the notary as well. So just be on the lookout for those, y'all. Right.
Okay, Antoinette, are you accepting notaries outside of Texas?
We are, but we don't close anything outside of Texas. We only close outside of Texas if the person is in another state.
Okay.
Well, Does that make sense? That didn't make sense. Okay. So the property has to be in Texas. We only close on Texas properties here at NPR Title. Okay. So if the customer is in California, but the property is here, yes, we've used outside notaries, outside of the state notaries, but it's not very often. And I don't know if maybe 3 or 4 months, if that. And we'll typically use, we don't use SnapDocs here. We'll use BNN for our out-of-state stuff.
Okay, and this will be the last question because we're pushing 8:03.
And internet needs to go home.
Exactly. I just forgot about that. Okay. Any advice on commercial signings?
On who?
Commercial signings.
You know, believe it or not, I don't have many.
I've done a few of them. This is Regina.
And how were they?
They were just regular. Some of them were just really kind of like small packages. One was a dentist office. Most of them that I've been doing are for small, like individual businesses. There was like a dentist. I think it was either 2 or 3 dentists that I did for. And they were mainly like refinances, but I got those direct from someone who found me on 123notary.com. And I think they paid me like 150. They paid me like 150, 175 for doing them.
Oh, okay.
Because they required scan backs. And one of them actually required a drop off at the title company. But since the title company figured out was only 1 block away from them, they just thought it would, oh, you can just drop it off since you only live a block from us, you know. But yeah, I mean, but honestly and truthfully, it was Republic Title, and I didn't have a problem with dropping it off with them because once I got in there, I kind of gave them my card and was able to talk to the person. You know, that was one way for me to get in to do that drop off.
Is that Regina Kennedy?
Yes, it's Regina Kennedy.
She won't let us see her face. Could I say one other thing?
Well,
yes,
I think this question was asked previously. I thought you answered it, but I don't want to skip it because it's kind of important. Where do you get E&O insurance from?
That is a good question.
I thought we covered that.
It was asked again, so maybe we need to say it again.
We didn't cover where you get it from. We covered that you need it, but not where do you purchase.
Gotcha. I think that it's if you are new to this, for your first year, get everything that you can from the National Notary Association so that everything is in one place for you. Then after you get comfortable with doing this, the next year you may want to shop around for something that may be a little less. But just so you don't have to go from place to place looking for something. And I don't think the price is going to be that much different as far as your E&O insurance is concerned. But what I wanted to just piggyback on about the commercial, sometimes I think we kind of combine. It's like, what is a commercial closing? What makes it commercial? Well, in my opinion, just my opinion, what makes it commercial is when it is like a company, like an apartment building or something like that. You've got those multi family units, or you've got an investor who has a corporation. So you're looking at corporation type closings. Now, those can look just like a regular closing. No more than 150 pages or so. You're not going to get any more than $150, so forth and so on. On the flip side of that, you've got the huge commercial closings where you've got to go through all of their partnership agreements, and you could have 300, 400, 500 pages. And that's a true commercial closing. And that closing could take you all day. And all day, but
now they are lucrative.
Now
they are lucrative.
Right. They're gonna pay you $500, $600, but you could be there all day. Because if you've got 10, 15 partners and you're sitting there waiting, because they're not all gonna come in the room at the same time. So it's like you sign one, then they may go away, then they come back, or the next one comes in. So this you in my opinion, you've got to look at commercial closings on 2 different levels.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Are we gonna have a question tonight?
Let's see. I was told Byron was a good one. Does anyone have their ear? Oh, I don't know about that. Sebastian said,
I've already addressed it. That'll be your next nugget.
What's it gonna be on?
the difference between notary E&O and signing agent E&O, since you owe me about 5.
Well, there is no difference. I can answer that right now. It's not notary E&O.
Dang it.
You have a bond.
Videos.
You have a bond for your notary, and you have errors and omissions for your signing agent.
I was speaking to the way they market it to different notaries. How you have E&O for your notary acts, but there's also the marketing of the signing agent E&O that's it's similar, but it's for everything outside of the notary act.
Okay. So in other words, you want a nugget.
That's
Yes,
what
ma'am.
I said.
Okay.
She
That's what I
wasn't
requested.
listening. She wasn't listening.
Well, I was, but it's like, well, it's two different things.
Well, just talk about it. That'll be your video for December. We got about 15 to do.
I thought you said
Wow.
10.
I just
I had a question for Antoinette, but I know we're over time. Can I
Go
email
ahead.
you?
Go ahead, Tia. Make it quick.
Well,
Sorry, I was trying to jump in for a while, but I just wanted to know, as a new notary who hasn't had any signings, are there any type of signings that you usually assign to new notaries who haven't had any?
you will always be a seller. You will always
Okay.
get a seller package because it's less to mess up. I hate to say it like I'm tired, y'all. Y'all don't understand. Okay,
Yes,
so
Patsy.
there are less documents for you to screw up. And typically, if you're doing a seller package, I can fix most of those if there's an issue. But I don't mind calling you back saying, hey, you got to go back out there. You know? So it will always be a seller. Ms. Liz has always said to me, you don't throw new people into a refi or a buyer, because a buyer package can be inundated with other things. A refi package, not everybody knows that a cash out has 2 documents to get recorded. There's a bunch of stuff that goes along with that. So definitely a seller. It's about, for us, it's about 30 pages, if that. And you really can't mess that up, I don't think. Well, you can.
Well, yeah, you can. Tia, did you send Antoinette an email and ask her for business?
No, I haven't.
I wonder why you didn't do that. I'm just asking for a friend.
I will do that.
You gotta ask for the business.
Hey. When you guys send me emails, please, I have asked you guys on several occasions, please don't put the zip codes that you work in. I'm not from Dallas. Well, I've lived in Dallas for long. I'm not from Dallas. I live here. I've lived here for a long time, but I don't know where those places are. Just put a city. Put an area that you want to stay in. I want to keep you near your house. I want to keep you near your home. So, please don't send me a paragraph of zip code. I'm gonna hit delete. So, yeah.
Okay. Well,
I expect to get an email from everyone.
This has been great. Antoinette's email is in the chat. Someone asked for it. It is in the chat. So take it before we exit, because it will not be on the replay. The chat is not on the replay. I hope to see everyone in one of our November classes. Notary 101 is this Saturday. Then it follows up with Workshop 1, Workshop 2, and Workshop 3, all in November. Please keep in mind, we do not have classes in December. Our prices do increase January 1st. So get in where you fit in. Are there any other questions related to classes or notary nuggets before we end this baby?
Real quick, what subject line should we put in for you, Antoinette? Because I emailed you after one of our like you asked after one of our nugget trainings, and I never heard anything back. So what subject line should I use when I'm emailing you?
She just threw you under the bus.
Right?
I didn't try.
And you know what? I don't care. Do I look like I care?
No.
I wasn't trying. I just didn't know, like, that I need to use a subject line.
Okay. So quick, just something really quick. Please don't email me at the end of the month. I will never respond to you because I'm busy. I'm not even kidding. I'm busy. Second, if you're emailing me, just put new notary. Ashley, you know what? Ashley,
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna send you a seller. I'm gonna send you a seller because I'm gonna call you to it. I'm gonna put you out there. You're gonna get a seller package from me, being that you're trying to be funny. Mess up if you want to.
Ashley, what area? I forgot. What area are you in?
I'm in Aubrey, but you know, Frisco, Denton, Plano, McKinney.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh-oh. Well, Ashley, you just got some business just like that.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So this has been
You're welcome.
fun. Antoinette, thank you again. It's always a pleasure to have you
y'all.
on. Oh, you just come with
Thank you.
You thought you didn't have anything to talk about and you went over 15 minutes. That's what I'm talking about.
Damn it.
Like, it's
I'm
amazing.
gonna do better.
It's wonderful. But before we go, I gotta show you my jazzy tennis shoes.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Like, oh, wait, you can't.
Oh, those
Oh, the Michael Kors.
Girl, nah, this just fab. I'm playing no tennis shoes.
Oh, okay.
I got 4 kids.
I have a quick question about the classes. Where do you sign up for your classes at?
Oh,
EC Head Consulting. I'm gonna put that in the chat. So, Antoinette, can I get away with those shoes?
Antoinette,
I would say yes. I would say yes, but I would say yes. A notary, and I would say yes on a Saturday only.
Dang.
How about she showed up at the first time she started training with me? She showed up with some of those shoes on. I'm like, oh,
was it a Saturday? No. Was it a Saturday?
Yes, it was a Saturday. You don't wear those to my training classes.
Okay, you know our training classes were in person and we stayed on our feet for 4 and 5 hours. What I'm supposed to have on my feet?
If I'm 68 years old and I can keep my heels on, you sure ought to be able to.
But do you keep your heels on? Let's be real.
Oh, I will step out of them.
Okay.
FYI, she didn't keep her heels on for more than 30 minutes today at that closing because her boots were off under the chair. I'm just saying. All right, y'all have a good
night, everyone.
My feet got hot. Did you get the website to sign up for class? Who asked for that?
Yes, I did. Thank you. Bridget did. Yes.
Antoinette,
all right. We hope to see you in class.
Antoinette, be safe going home.
I will. All right, y'all be careful. Be safe. Good signing. Good signing.
Bye, y'all.
All right.
I'll see some of y'all on Saturday, I bet.